And that's why Madonna doesn't like me.
The Madonna with the big boobies from a lower
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
talking about.
Well, guess where we are?
He's brought me to a different coffee house. So far, they've been really unfriendly.
And
That's not just because I have a cost effect.
no, they are. They have actually been really unfriendly.
He thinks we're going to be thrown out.
I think we might get thrown out. I think we might get told off. I've just had words with them. But if you know me on a personal level, I'll tell you all about that when I see you. It's too long-winded, quite frankly,
and a bit dull, really.
So we've got white cups.
The trouble is,
Costa, we still haven't had your sponsorship.
Listen, so the trouble is, when he's in this kind of mood to be grumpy, he's grumpy with everybody. That's the problem. Yes, white cups. So yeah, we still haven't had sponsor money. No, that's true.
So Starbucks have got an opportunity to run in and steal the sponsorship from them.
But they're not doing very well so far.
I'll take anyone's money.
that is very true. Now, here's the interesting thing. We've been doing a lot of driving today. You've been doing a lot of driving today.
I was wondering where the we came into this.
I've been in the passenger seat.
We've been to Chatham today.
We have been to Chatham.
In Kent. That's in Kent, if anyone doesn't know. CHATH.
To a place called Luton in Chatham.
To a place called Luton in
Chatham. And now we're in Luton in Bedfordshire.
Toddington South.
Toddington South.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the driving that we've seen today, because it's been absolutely fucking appalling.
Yes.
Can I talk about lorries to start with?
Yeah, you go for it.
Because in a 4-lane motorway on the M25, 2 lorries, one going 69 miles an hour and one going, or 60 miles an hour, whatever they're locked in at.
Yes.
And then one going 1 mile an hour faster on the next lane along.
Blocking 2 or 3.
All the cars into the outside lanes. And it's just like, get over, because you're not going any faster.
20, 30 seconds of this. We're talking like 20 minutes of this, because neither of them are relenting to let the other one in front. So they're both going at literally 1 mile an hour difference, which is taking him 30 minutes
all the
to
lanes.
overtake him.
Yeah.
And
then there's another one doing it a bit further along.
It makes you grumpy.
It really.
But then we got onto the whole subject about other things on the road that get you grumpy.
Well, I also
do one of mine.
Go on, yeah.
One of mine is traffic lights.
What about traffic lights, though?
Well, people not being ready to leave when they turn green.
Yeah.
So you'll sit there for, and if you know the area that I live in, an eternity waiting for lights to go green.
Honk your horn at them.
And nowadays there's a very short window, because we can't possibly have two rows of traffic going at the same time.
No, can't possibly do that.
4-way lights mean 4-way light. 4-way road means 4-way light. So you're waiting an eternity for them to turn green. Then the car at the front is still not ready.
I know.
Or they're waiting.
How difficult is it?
I don't know what shade of green you're waiting for, love, but it ain't going to go there. So you better go.
In Bicester, we've got roadworks at the moment on the ring road where they're taking a perfectly good roundabout out and putting 4-way traffic lights in.
They did that
and
here.
it's like, why are you doing that? Because it's no better. In fact, it's considerably worse. But the thing is, while the roadworks are in, you can sit there and it takes 7 minutes for the lights to change with the 4-way on the main road. And if you don't hit that the first time because someone hasn't got away from the lights, you're there for 15 minutes and it's like, get a fucking move on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seriously.
But I think they did that here years ago. They changed all the crossroads that had roundabouts at. They changed them into traffic lights.
Yep.
And then they put crossings just off the traffic lights.
Oh, about 100 yards further up.
Because you couldn't possibly get the pedestrians to cross at the road when it's red.
That would be sensible, wouldn't it?
And it just gridlocked the entire town. And we've suddenly seen some bursts of people going, we need to change this. So things are changing for the better, but marginally better. But people not being ready to go. You've waited 20 minutes out to change green and you're still not ready to go. Other things that annoy me is, we saw it today, somebody on their phone, literally on the motorway, 70 miles an hour.
Holding their phone and have it up.
No, they weren't. I said that to you. I said to you, she's on her phone. That's why she's behaving like a twat. But actually, she was on her phone doing this at the steering wheel. And she was actually, phone calls are one thing. I can almost live with a phone call. But
outrageous.
Actually, she was on her screen rather than on the phone. Yeah.
It's quite noisy in this Starbucks as well, isn't it?
I'm hoping it won't come out with these.
Talk about tailgating, because we've had a couple of instances of that today while we've been on the motorway, quite happily pootling along, and there's been an arsehole behind you.
Well,
several, in fact.
I'm going to fess up. Often, it's me that it's not. I'm not tooting or flashing my lights to get people to move over, but I do drive too close to the person in front. But this was one of those where there's 3 lanes going into 2, and it's the fast lane that's going into.
I mean the outside lane. Apparently, there's no such thing as a fast lane. Who knew?
Well, not when you get some knobheads in them. But pretty much that means that everyone moves over, and then there's a clear line.
Yep.
And then you get some twat driving up, and you think we're all queuing.
Then it goes in because like when there's red. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So he laughed because I then positioned myself halfway over both lanes, so he couldn't get by, and I don't care. We're all sitting here patiently.
Because you're big and butch enough. If he comes up and knifes you through the window,
I'm not big and butch enough, but he's not going to do that. And actually,
fingers crossed.
There is a certain. We've all got a brand of car that we don't like, and
it is that brand of car.
It was that brand.
I had one of those once, you know.
Yeah, I had one of those once as well. I've had 2 of them. I've had 3 of them actually. But as a whole, that brand of car owner does give BMW does give.
I wasn't going to name it to be fair. I've got a My Diesel claim in against them at the moment. One of the massive diesel claims. So we'll see whether I get £100,000 in 5 years' time.
What's your gripe? What's your gripe then?
My gripe, I saw the other day somebody driving along a dual carriageway with their emergency indicators on. Now it wasn't
hazards.
Hazards. So it wasn't like they were. It wasn't like they'd got a problem. Hazard. They were going 60 miles an hour. It wasn't like they were in a hazard at all. So they'd obviously had their hazard lights on, but hadn't switched them off. And it's like, be aware.
You know what? You know how that's happened.
Go on.
They've gone to turn their fog lights off because it's July.
Yeah, quite.
And they've knocked the hazard lights on by mistake. And now they don't know how to turn the hazard lights off until April.
That's true.
When they put the fog lights back on.
That is true. Yes, all those people that drive with fog lights in the rain.
That's what I mean.
When I used to work for AA Roadwatch, we used to say, when it rained heavily, in the travel bulletins across the country, we used to say, put your windscreen wipers on and your headlights. So if your windscreen wipers are on, your headlights should be on, but not your fog lights. Because you'll just dazzle the people behind you.
I think years ago, I heard you on LBC doing the traffic.
Yeah, more than likely.
Saying to people, turn your fog lights off. When it was
it really pissed
turn
me
your fog
off.
lights. There's no fog, so turn your fog lights
off. Exactly. Yeah, quite.
Yeah.
Well, I look tiny in comparison. That's just perspective, right? Oh, that's better. Yeah, pull it down.
Pull it down. Look. So what else gripes you this week on traffic?
On traffic? My tyres. Tyres. The tyres on my car. I worry that I don't pump them up often enough.
But when oh my God, that's funny.
I'm coming on to that in a second.
Sorry.
But in the garage, the good thing that they have done, you don't need to put a 50p in anymore to get the air. You can do it on your debit card, or you can do it on your phone.
Charging for air drives me nuts anyway.
Charging for air is a nightmare. But I'm glad that they did. But I have to check that. But then you said, when I raised that with you, you said that you have to check your tyres even more.
And I'm glad you interrupted me, because I was just about to say, that's spooky. Oh my God, because I had the same conversation with some, but of course it was with you.
Grumpy old day.
Somebody's just coming in, and I'm going to try and turn the camera around. If you watch 24 Hours in Police Custody, you'll recognise this man because he's one of the policemen on 24 Hours.
No, in which case, don't show.
Right,
Don't show. You can just wave genteelly. I have noticed that the police are getting younger and more attractive.
He's not. I think he's retired now.
No, he's not one of them. He's not one of them. Yeah. But talk about your tyres, because your tyres are even worse.
I don't know. I'm going to swap the front with the back to see if it's. But
what's that going to do?
Well, because my front tyres, over about the space of 2-3 weeks, go down. And I don't mean flat.
I reckon you've got a neighbour that hates you and they just let them down at night time.
No. Because the car's on camera all night.
That's true. Yeah, it is outside your house.
It's just over the space of 2 weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks or so, somebody will say to me, your tyre looks a bit... I'm like, but it's not at the same time. It's like alternate front. So I'm forever, seemingly forever, pumping them up with one of those plug-in cigarette lighter things. but it never happens with the back. So I thought maybe I'm going up on curbs for parking, but I don't do that anymore. I haven't done that for a couple of years, so it's not that. But I just wonder, what is it about my front wheels that means maybe that's a common thing? I don't know. You tell me.
Sensors is the other thing that pisses me off about my car. It's good to have sensors because I'm terrible at parking anyway, but my sensors are so sensitive. I need them to be about half that sensitivity because I get like within a foot of something and it's like, me. It's like, for God's sake.
Sensors, yeah. And sensors when there's nothing wrong with the car, but the sensors, occasionally my bonnet says it's open and it's clearly not because it would fire up into the windscreen.
I've got a sensor across the front grille of my car that actually, if you're going to drive into something, will do an emergency stop for you. So it's like radar, so it senses. But the salesman that sold me the car said, just every so often, just goes off by itself. And it will be a leaf blowing by.
It's a manufacturer trait.
Yeah, it's like a leaf going past.
It's faulty.
And it does it when you're going like 60 miles an hour and you put your foot on the brake and it's like, hang on, because otherwise it will do an emergency stop for you. I don't like that. I find that really annoying.
Yeah, that would go back.
I remember the time where you would buy a car and in fact, you would be in complete control of it yourself. Remember those days?
Yeah, you could even take it where you wanted to get it serviced.
That's it. Oh yeah, you could take it to any garage.
Take it anywhere,
just the main dealer. Exactly. Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Again, I'm going to ask the question: what annoys you about traffic? What annoys you about other motorists? What annoys you about cars?
Your car.
Yeah.
Tell us. About transport. I mean, I don't like journeys. I like being at A and I like being at B, and I don't like the process of getting there. Be that life's journeys, be that motorway journeys, be it airplane journey. I don't like it.
You need a TARDIS.
Or a teleport.
No,
teleport would be
TARDIS.
better.
The noise of them are great.
Do I have to have one that looks like a police box?
Yes.
Or can I have one with a working chameleon circuit?
No, a police box. Police box. I nearly bought one on eBay last week, actually. I nearly bought a full-size police box, yeah, as in fiberglass. Can't get it in the garden. So
this is how geeky I am. I am a member of the TARDIS Owners Club on YouTube. No, on Facebook.
I think I'm on there, actually. I think that's where I saw it.
People build them and then sell them.
Yeah, that's great. Tell us where you'd go in a TARDIS.
And on that nerdy note, I think that's probably enough for today.
I think we're there. 12 minutes. There you go.
Excellent. Thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe and like. Remember the Grumpy Old Gays. We're on X. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook.
Love
we're
you.
on everywhere.
We're going.
Bye.
Bye.